Let's kick it old school!
Yeah, boy!
Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
Time for the recap.
Wes, you're up. Yeah, you just have to read our minds and tell us what happened last time.
So I feel like Felix will default to letting the bard retell the story.
Well, our humble adventurers decided that they needed some relaxation after their terrible, terrible adventures in the Underdark and went down to the Sailor's Seduction in order to enjoy the evening. Half the adventurers went, you know. Basil and Clintock and Felix and Torjon went down to the Sailor's Seduction. We were greeted by the dwarf bouncers and informed that the mystery brew was 2 gold pieces for a 40 ounce. Holy cow. You know, they must be making somewhere else because sure as heck they're giving out enough brew for cheap. But there is a rule at the Sailor Seduction. Don't get drunk and stupid. Obviously, with that 40 ounce, they're taking care of the first one automatically. So the answer is don't get stupid, which I tell you is amazingly hard for the 5 who actually showed up at the Sailor Seduction because it's hard to go where you already are. But our the old lech we met at the magic item store, Loach, is talking to people in the corner, waving around the silver piece, and indeed demanding special service for his silver piece. Bought drinks for the entire bar, and not only that, changed up the entertainment for the entire night, all for a silver piece, which made the people there rather suspect that silver was worth a lot more than we actually thought. But it turns out the mystery brew is not 1 mystery brew, but 3 mystery brews. So we had peppery ale, ginger beer, and some sort of cardamom beer, and a couple of people swapped because they didn't like that very much. So Loach, of course, despite the fact it's coming off a complete let, a bit of a perv, demanded that the first entertainment be, guess what? A dulcimer player playing about lost love and treasure and adventure. I mean, really, what? What's with the 2 girls? No girls dancing, nobody making out, a freaking dulcimer player, and one that Orion was fortunately not there for because Orion would have thrown him off the stage for being incompetent, because he truly was.
All's in a successful night at the Sailor Seduction.
The 6 brothers decided that a couple of the rough crowd out there were definitely competition for what they're doing. So first of all, they get in the game. I can't remember. Did they try to arm wrestle first, or did they just go straight to punching?
They arm wrestled first, and
yes, arm wrestled first, and then somehow that wasn't enough, so they got into punching and laid out one of the guys, and then we discovered exactly what "don't get drunk and stupid" means, because a couple of rough-looking sailor types dragged the unconscious fighter out and press ganged him. Not, of course, before Basil the thief relieved him of his remaining money. In any case, we decided that given that 1 silver has completely changed the bar for the night, and we definitely don't want to drink that much more because we might end up press ganged, we decided to go home and warn Karn about the fact that he's carrying around a rather decent-sized fortune. Well, in the meantime, the people at home are doing different things indeed. For Well, the lady has shown up. Oh, damn, can't remember her name. And turns out she was demanding a book from a guy who stays at the inn, but she was not allowed to get in. Karn bypasses that, first of all, by taking a room in the area that she was not allowed to get into, and then wandering around and talking to the people, but he is unable to find it. But Remy decides that Basil the thief can liberate the book from the guy instead, and hires him in order to do that. And Basil, of course, agrees, and then turns around or reconnoiters, finding out that indeed Karn is now on the same area. Basil's first pass is unsuccessful, but he does indeed identify the room where the professor is at and manages to talk with him a bit and figure out the layout of the place, but hasn't been able to get to the book. So Basil rounds up help in the form of Torjan, who has come back from the sailor seduction and warned Karn. And Torjan agrees to cast a sleep spell on the professor. In the meantime, Karn has been warned that apes were talking to Loach and may come looking for the silver, and Karn puts the majority of his fortune first. Very carefully he deposits it and does his tithing, but he puts the rest of the majority of his fortune safely with Basil the thief, so that anybody who searches Karn is going to find a little money, but not that much. So Basil decides that with magical help, of course, he can knock out the professor and get the book. Unfortunately, the sleep spell doesn't work at all. Who knows why? Our intrepid thieves certainly have no idea. But the guy is just blowing off all of their attempts, as they go. Unfortunately, all of that back and forth has alerted Karn to the fact that something is going on, and Karn arm bars Basil and Torjan into actually fessing up to the professor and letting him know that they were up to nefarious ends. Poor Basil does it under protest. Of course, Torjan, who owes Karn his life, basically knuckles down and agrees. And it turns out that was the right way, for that indeed is what got the book that Remy wanted out of the professor, amazingly enough. So we have Remy's book, and the night is good.
The caveat is we can have Remy's book for an hour.
We have access to Remy's book. Thank you for the reminder there. Right. And of course, it turns out that the book is in an ancient language that none of us speak. Fun. But that was the next day, I think, depending on the notes. All right. So we go pick up our items from Loach, only to find out that we apparently missed the best part of the night, or at least he said it was the best part of the night because we left early. But oh well, I'm not sure our version of entertainment matches his version of entertainment. We go to the Valentino's Cafe to meet our helper on Anton, and only to find out that yes, indeed, Remy is planning on running away again. And after talking to Anton about that, he seems a little less upset and starts to talk to us about Ox. Ox is being kept in the Tower prison. They're going to indeed charge him with piracy in a couple of days, looks like. But Anton thinks he can get a note to Ox and get it back within the day, so hopefully we can get some help from the captain himself as to his rescue. Or who knows, maybe he wants to be executed as a pirate. That could be fun. Remy gets her hour with the book, only to discover that it's an ancient Arcane, and nobody speaks ancient Arcane. So, of course, we are left with the cliffhanger of how the heck are we going to find somebody to speak ancient Arcane? But wait a minute, wasn't one of the shopkeepers that race? And so here we are, I think. Did I miss any major details?
One, the reason that we left the sailor seduction was that two apes in robes, they were like golden robes, walked in, and they were questioning Loach, presumably about his silver piece. And since the ape empire has a tight grip or controls the flow of silver, and we were the ones who gave it to Loach, we were like, oh, let's get out of here before he has the easy opportunity to just rat us out.
But apparently he was a good guy, because we talked to him the next morning, and he at least claims that he put them off the scent with a false story. And we weren't arrested in the night, so that's certainly a possibility that he is on the up and up.
Yes, but we do get the sense that that at least some of the ape empire is aware that there is unauthorized silver, or so there has been some source of silver that's been brought into the city. So continued use of it as currency might draw suspicion, despite its value.
If I recall correctly, Karn tied 40 silver pieces and put most of the rest in Basil's possession, and kept a few pieces on himself. And he'll, if they encounter any apes, he'll immediately say, "Yes, I've got silver. What of it?"
Yeah, you put 37 silver pieces with the guy at the front desk, because he said that somebody from of like mind will be in like the chapel area at the rejuvenating bog that evening.
Yes.
And he locked it in, and you kept 20 to yourself, and you gave Basil 80.
Okay, that's yeah.
And I believe Ox is being held at tower number 3. Yeah, because Anton told, when you guys were at Valentino's, kind of like pointed, like hinted over his shoulder and said, the tower behind me is where he's being held. Today, it's a clear day. It's in the, I believe, the 40s. We did do the weather. It's like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. You've just gotten the book and gone. He allowed you to go get Remy, because it would take her a while for her to show up, so he didn't want to at least do that to you. So you are in the rejuvenating bog. He has gone back into his room. Yeah, Gortman, the Archon, has gone back into his room. You have 1 hour, and you have been handed this book, Priestess of the Banished. And the only reason you know that's the name of it is because there is a small little note kind of like on the front of it that is written in common. I think there was some discussion about Basil being able to read this ancient language.
I've been really good at figuring out things in languages. I've got a knack for it. If you want me to take a look.
She's like, whatever, or we got to get that shop owner. We don't have a whole lot of time.
Well, if we don't have time, let's let Basil start on it, while somebody else runs and sees about the shop owner. Or do we want to try to take the book to him?
He gave you explicit instructions that the book would stay in the room for the hour.
Right, and Karn's going to be very, very lawful about that. Yes.
Who can run the fastest?
I would imagine Zofan could pretty lively move down the street and get to there pretty quick. I shall go and get to the shopkeeper, Keldasha,
and see if they'll let him look at it in the first place. Who's got their hands on it?
I mean, probably Karn. I think he handed it to Karn because he trusts Karn. And then Remy looks at it and is like, okay, who can read Ancient Arcane? Because I can't.
Karn holds it and looks at Basil and says, "You little lech, you best not be trying to make off with this." And Basil will try to take a look at it. No, of course not. I guess hard role playing two people at the same time.
Yeah.
Do you want me to make the roll? And Thief gets an 80% chance.
Yeah, make the roll, man.
Let's see what we got here. 46.
Okay, so
That's-
you can somewhat you're starting to piece this book together as figuring this out. So on somewhere in your character sheet, you can write down ancient Darkone somewhere, Arcone, as the language you know. So next thing you get to do is make an intelligence roll to see how much of this book you can pick up in an hour.
And he's telling Zofan, you better run because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to read this all. I've got an intelligence of 15.
Wow.
What'd you roll?
13.
Okay, so the book is very, very old, which is not a surprise. And you realize it is basically like oral traditions that were passed down that somebody wrote down. And the book is probably, you would guess, the year is 1885. The book was probably written 1,500 years ago. And you start to, and it's written in, it's not written like a manual. You start piecing it together. You start to get the impression that the priestess of the banished was a cult leader. Remy says there's something about her daughter. There's something that like she gets cured. So going through this book, so the example of how this is written, with runes carved in flesh, they bled, they writhed, they crept before all mystic gods of death. Through night, through dark, no rest. A voice, discord and shrill, broke above the groveling filth. A priestess of a banished lot gave them life where none had sought. So that's basically who you're talking about. That's the priestess. And basically she is a cult leader. And then you're flipping through. The capricious gods set their gaze, suffer my blood born all her days. No sacrifice or ritual spell could pull my progeny from damnable hell. So her daughter gets some kind of horrible thing that she believes the gods have cursed her with. And everything that they do, goes into great detail about, all these horrible human sacrifices and stuff that they do to try to lift the curse or whatever it is, and they can't do it, which I'm sure you'll leave out for Karn's sake. So they set out to try to find this person. She says, weary, broken through grief and spite, the last acolyte gave its life, a final sacrifice left to make, no vision needed, in my eyes a stake. So it sounds like her last sacrifice after her last follower died was she took her own eyes out. Then it goes on that she
the priestess or
the priestess
daughter?
the priestess took her own eyes out.
Wow.
So then you flipping through. Sanguius Rex, eternal, undying, plucked a broad leaf, still beating, writhing. Just as it touched, a mere drip brought forth salvation upon their lips. Whoever this person is, Sanguius Rex, who they found, some eternal, undying person, had some sort of leaf that pulsated with their own blood that cured this girl of this disease that was given to her by the god.
Wow.
So Remy hears this, she's listening, she's like, oh, that's the line, there we go. Oh, okay, all right, now I know what to do. And as she does this, she's got a bunch of paperwork scattered on the ground, on the, I don't know, whoever's room you're in, I would guess Barnes' room, that would make sense. Karn's in room 2, so you're all huddled around, and she kind of takes out, and you see she's got like a list that she's written. She picks up some more paperwork. She's got like a little notebook. She starts making notes, and you see that she has a list on the counter, and the list has items and like their worth. So she's got a list like, fancy lamp, 17 gold pieces, such and such, like dresser, like 230 gold pieces. A loan from Crispin, 1,000 gold pieces. And she's got all this list of stuff. And she starts to collect. She's like, oh, Basil, that's amazing. I'm glad you could read this. That helps.
Oh, I'm so glad I was able to help you.
So you have to find a leaf?
Well, so this is like it's the plan. It's so I just have to find where this plant is.
Anguius Rex.
Does the name
Well,
is that
well-
like familiar to? Is that like is that like a familiar term like that our characters would know?
Y'all can make intelligence rolls if you want.
Which is the point. Hold on, let me look up the bardic ability. Because we've got if it is highly notable, it may have a bardic roll. Let me look it up. Having fun.
Got a 3.
Damn. Failed. I just missed it.
Felix, oddly enough, passed.
Who did?
Felix did.
Okay.
Yeah. Basil did. We're trying to roll under intelligence, right?
Yeah. So that name sounds. I mean, you've heard that name, and it's associated with a vampire. It's some kind of vampire lord.
Vampires.
Roll the 2.
And with your bardic knowledge, you're thinking this might be the vampire, like the originator of all vampires, like the first one.
Oh.
Ooh. Either becoming a vampire would remove the curse, or maybe the vampire lord himself can remove the curse. Wow. That's a little. Not sure you can vampirize a dragon. Of course, what we figure out, pass on to Remy, but not really sure she can vampirize a dragon. But maybe the dragon can bargain with the vampire to do something.
So she collects her stuff. She thanks you. It takes you like right at the hour, and like just like clockwork, Gortman opens the door and kind of looks as Remy is grabbing her stuff, collecting her things, hastily, and she's like, "I gotta go. I gotta get back to the university." And she kind of bolts, and he kind of gives her like side view, kind of like of disgust, and then Zofan, give me a 2d6 roll. As you get up to the shop there.
It's a 9.
Okay. So just as Remy is leaving, you arrive with Keldashah. He closes up the shop. He's like, okay, I'll take a look at this book. He's very curious. There's not a lot of people have books written in the ancient language, and probably the fact that Gortman, like, to get a chance to look at his exclusive library would be really good. So and it takes a while. He closes up his shop. He's kind of like meticulous about everything. He's got to like close this and put this away and set this back up, and that's how he arrives just as Remy is just bolting out the door out of the rejuvenating bog and running.
How much of the hour is left? Or is this it?
That's the hour. You got 1 hour, unless you want to negotiate for more time.
I mean, we did drag this poor guy out of his shop, and he got here just as we're done with the book, right?
Zofan's like, isn't she interested in? Doesn't she need to know what the book says? Or were you able to read it, Basil?
Oh, I read it. I read it pretty well. This kind gentleman, he was really nice to let us borrow it.
Zofan turns to Keldashah. And what was the professor's name?
Gortman.
Gortman. I'm sure you're familiar with Keldashah.
Yeah, so they exchange glances. They don't seem like they like each other very much from how they look at each other.
Boy.
I don't suppose we could have maybe 5 more minutes with the book to have a Arcone eye on it, to make sure. Basil, I trust you. I trust your abilities to read ancient Arcone, but I would probably trust Keldashah's slightly more.
Oh, I'm heartbroken.
Geez, the thief is untrusted. The thief is not trusted. He must be feeling terrible.
And I've never done anything to you. As they try to pick your pocket.
Slap him away.
He puts a hand on your shoulder like, but we're brothers. Brothers in arms and battle and blood.
It's nothing personal. It's just we have a resource that is a legitimate Arcone who is interested in who agreed to close up their shop to read this book. And I think we should give them, if we can, Professor Gortman, if I went through all the effort to bring Keldashah this way, would you leave us 5 more minutes? You could stay in the room. I can see that you guys really get on. You get along well. Zophan's got a charisma of 7, so he's probably not he probably doesn't notice any of that.
He looks at Karn. Gortman looks at Karn and says, Karn, would you wish 5 more minutes?
It could not harm us to have somebody who natively speaks that to look at it. But we will do as you wish.
I will give you 5 more minutes. And he looks over at Keldashah and looks back at you. Maybe they will learn something. And he hands you the book and closes his door.
Wow.
Quickly.
So yeah, Keldashah opens it. He looks very fascinated because he's probably never seen a book written in this language this old. He flips through it.
Ask Basil to point him to the right section, because that's the one we absolutely need a second pair of eyeballs on.
Okay, which part?
The section about the sanguious Rex that with the leaf that cured the incurable disease.
Okay. So yeah, you flip to that section. He gives it a quick read through. He says that from what he can understand, it sounds like there is some kind of leaf or something that grows at his manor. That obviously either feeds off he can't figure out if it feeds off the blood of victims or blood of him, but it cures anything that it touches. He said, but the problem that you will have is that finding this place, because the gods banished his mansion and sent it away, and it only appears at certain times that only somebody who studies the stars would know, and it's very random. So finding it would be very difficult. But if you could bring back leaves from this manor, they would be worth a lot of money.
Aha.
Sounds like they would be worth a lot of money, but they could also do a lot of good if they can cure, if they have these restorative properties.
Yes.
And of course, people pay a lot of money to be cured from diseases. I like money.
Oh, I was going to ask whether that was Basil or Karn. Clearly, that last one was Basil. Karn's like,
Basil talks in a very soft tone.
In Zophan, or I guess Zophan doesn't know what it says, but it doesn't know what the book says because he wasn't there. But is there anything else of specific Arcone significance that Keldashah could provide insight on?
well, I mean, we need to know what astrological or, astronomic signs to look for. Appears sometime somewhere when the heavens are right isn't exactly a treasure map.
That's true.
So it'd be nice to know if there's some clue there.
Do you know what who Sanguius Rex is? Keldashah is
he is referred to as the Blood King, the first vampire.
So confirmation of what we already figured out, which is good.
There are those in town who may have seeked out the manor at some time. I know that this is a town for adventuring. There was at one time the Vampires Hunters Guild, but I don't know if they exist anymore. There are other societies, organizations that may have more information.
We could check for the Vampires Hunters Guild, and I'm sure we could ask some of our contacts here for an up-to-date guild list that might have deal with the supernatural. Zofan wants to ask. I mean, as a player, I want to ask him about the priest of the banished bits in there, but Zofan was not in the reading of that.
The priestess of the banished. What about her?
He'd want to know. He'd want to know what his take on the priestess of the banished is, like this cult leader.
Yeah, she was obviously some cult leader who practiced black magic, and in order to cure her daughter, she had to apparently make this sacrifice to the Blood King.
Are any of these people or these figures special to Arcone?
So the Arcone are broken into clans, and the girl is supposedly had led the Shah clan, but he says that's just legend. That's just a legend that was told.
As in killed the Shah, his clan.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so he got a little worth out of that. I mean, legend or not, he heard something interesting about the old clan. Well, I assume Gortok is going to pop up pretty soon.
Yeah, Gortman. The door opens exactly 5 minutes later, and he kind of stands there waiting for his book to be returned.
Orion sees how badly Zofan fumbled the last encounter, and does his charming best to thank Gortman. I keep getting that name wrong. Thank Gortman for his help and say, this has been very enlightening for all involved. It is much appreciated.
You are welcome. Karn, you have a good day. And he as he goes to close the door, Keldashah thanks all of you and then goes to leave. And they exchange a couple words in ancient Arcone and a few scowls. And he closes the door and they both walk away.
You see, gentlemen, what happens when you tell the truth and you're honest and you walk in the light of Cuthbert.
Yeah, I guess Cuthbert brought me to bring Keldashah to bring them here, and also brought Basil to also give the ability to read. So I guess I get it. Maybe.
Well, certainly it wasn't Cuthbert who came down and made these things possible. It's walking the path that Cuthbert set for us that made it possible. We went to the man, we told him the truth, and we've got the things that we needed.
It was very kind of him.
That was kind of him.
Now, if only Cuthbert did jailbreaks.
Okay, for Felix and Clintock to catch up, both of you give me a save versus spells for both of those guys.
Yep. Felix fails and Clintock passes.
So that was basically after your rest here at the Rejuvenating Bog, after you slept. So Felix does not remember his time in the Fae. So the ballroom is kind of sketchy, and the time that you were there chasing the guy. I think you were. No, that was Clintock. So Felix does not remember that time in the ballroom, but Clintock does remember the time that they faced the goblins in the trees and the hag, and he remembers all that stuff.
Oh, by the way, I looked up my notes. The second kiss with the hag was in the material plane.
Yeah.
So Orion does remember the second kiss with the hag, but he sure as hell isn't clear why he was doing it.
quiet did I ever kiss her.
Amazing.
I was feeling a little drunk at the time.
Well, no, I mean, I wanted to distract her in the middle of battle, but I mean, usually you distract a hag by attacking them, not kissing them. Oh, well.
So, Karn, as you guys are having this discussion and you've returned the book, you realize that Remy has left one of the scraps of paper in your room there on the floor.
Oh, boy.
Oh, what is this? He picks it up, looks at it.
Basically, so there's like some scratch notes. It says 3 sailors, and then like 30 gold pieces ? Mercenaries 100 gold pieces ?
Can anybody read this? I don't know what this says. I don't think Karn can read. He's got an intelligence.
This bard will swipe it.
What you thought
like
was
she's
there was
having-
there.
It looks like notes about hiring sailors and mercenaries. I don't know. Is 3 sailors for 30 gold piece or mercenaries for 100 gold piece? I don't know if that's a good rate or not. I guess it depends on the length of the engagement. But no surprise. I mean, she's going to go out and look for. Knew she was going to have to leave and look for something, so she's looking for sailors and mercenaries to help her out with her search.
Well, I happen
Funny,
to know
that
some
we're
sailors and mercenaries.
I was going to say, funny that we're sailors and mercenaries, and assuming we can spring ox, we've got a damn good reason to leave town fast.
Certainly, we need something to do.
Now, also, Felix, Wes, for Felix and Clintock, if there's some kind of weapon or something you wanted, or any kind of gear or anything, you can try to get that picked up. You could have done it already. You don't have to, if you want to do it in game, that's fine. Also, your characters would have gotten, what did you guys get last from? You got, so Felix and Clintock both got 150 gold pieces each and 50 minted gold pieces, which is basically equal to 150 gold pieces. That was from Anton, Remy's father. So she gave everybody some money for saving her. So it's about noon here at the Rejuvenating Bog. What's your plan?
130 gold pieces seems kind of light. I think we should bargain for more.
I'm smelling that old double money. Remy will pay us to go on an adventure, and her father, who now trusts us a bit more, will pay us to keep her safe. To bring her back. There you go.
We ran across your daughter.
So I'm smelling that old double money, but again, money means nothing if we're on the run from, springing a pirate from the dungeon. Well, still means something, but a little harder to spend sometimes.
That sounds like an excellent idea. And
I believe it's called double dipping, but I don't think Cuthbert actually frowns on that. I'll allow it.
As long as Cuthbert gets his tithe, right?
Exactly. It's
More money for Cuthbert.
Clintock just nods from the background in agreement with the double dipping, and Felix is more training, better. I don't care how much I get paid.
Well, we're meeting him later on to see what the word from the dungeon is. So we'll have time to bring it up then. How much time have we got before the meeting?
He said that he would get you a message. It's unknown when you will meet him.
Okay. But we're at the rejuvenating bog, and the concierge there was pretty good last time. So why don't we talk to the concierge and see if he knows anything about a vampire hunters guild, and if not, what guilds would normally hunt vampires around this place.
I think Brucon was his name, the elf. Yeah, you hired him for like 24 hours. So yeah, he's still on the clock, so to speak. He says, Vampire Hunters Guild. Well, I think I know someone. I may know someone who knows someone. I'll reach out to them. I'll go in town. And do you wish to speak with them then?
Yes, please. We are waiting on a critical message, but if you could bring them here, and if you think that would require any shiny persuasion, let us know.
I will go do this. And he hastily leaves the rejuvenating bog and heads into town.
We're working on dealing with the captain. We're working on tracking down this stuff. I guess we need to get if we're not specifically meeting with Anton later, then we need to get a message to him then. Again, talk to somebody up at the front and see if we can, purchase paper, I was going to say paper and pencil, paper, ink, and quills. And yeah, they've got a business center, right? This is a modern hotel. They've got a business center, right?
Yeah. So you're going to send Anton a message?
Start drafting a message to Anton. Basically, Remy is going to be leaving soon off chasing a cure for her dragon friend. We understand that she's been asking about hiring mercenaries. So we would be willing to look after her for an appropriate fee.
Are you going to mention anything about vampire or anything like that? Or?
Well, okay. Well, that's true. We need to apply a sense of urgency. Our understanding is she is attempting to track down the lost lair of the first vampire. That'll give him a sense of urgency. And of course I'm letting the rest of the crowd know what I'm writing and listening to them. So if they have any suggestions, happy to listen. This is a group effort.
Are you sure we should? What if we just allow Remy to tell him what she's doing? And the confusion she inevitably causes because she spares almost zero details. We can then follow that up with, oh, by the way, this is what she's planning in person. Otherwise, she may try. He may attempt to stop her from leaving altogether, and we could.
That's true. It didn't work well
cause
time.
A rift. Yeah, he may not. He may not be. He may not allow her to leave so easily the second time, or be so kind about it.
Yeah, that is a point. If he thinks she's running into, the most ancient vampire lair in existence, he may put some more effort into stopping her instead of just, schoolgirl running after, running after information on her thesis, whatever. Okay, I'll muff the first draft and make sure to scratch over the, vampire part, or heck, just burn the first draft and say, we understand that Remy is leaving shortly, and then, unfortunately, maybe short of funds to hire protectors, we're offering to attempt to, follow her and be her protectors as, be her protectors. So,
as we have successfully done in the past,
yeah, right.
have a proven track record now.
Yes,
Right.
we do have a proven track record.
And if he could throw us in a mansion of our own, complete with a place where we can dock our boat, a couple
There's a
servants,
chapel, of course.
and a chapel.
Yeah. That's not going in the letter.
I feel like you had to try.
Always on the lookout.
Buy your bachelor pad with your own hard-earned money.
Oh, I plan on it. Well, hopefully we can find a messenger to get through all those layers of guards between this district and the business and where Remy's father's at, or where Anton's at.
Well, he works in this district. He lives across the water, but he works in this district. So, I'm sure it's a darn merchant company. They have to accept messages.
Yeah, it's easy enough to get a message to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So we're restocked. We're waiting on notice from the captain. We're following up on Remy as best we can.
Okay. Anything you want to do before, I guess, you get word from BrewCon or what Ox, if you get notice from what Ox said, it's kind of hanging out in your rooms.
No. Orion is cursing the fact that he didn't really have enough time in town to go bar crawling. Yeah, he could have gone to the sailor. He could have gone to the sailor seduction, but he knew he had to be in top shape for tomorrow. And hell, he still has a concussion for another day. So
might as well, just soothe that concussion with some alcohol.
Right. Marinate the concussion. Yeah, so sorry. Not being very interesting.
So so as the sun sets, you hear the chimes, the bells go off. I'm sure Zofan is counting the shift change. And it is only 5 minutes between the ending of the last bell and the beginning. So the shift change took 5 minutes. Wes, since you weren't here, there are, I think, 13. Did I say 13 or 11? There are 11 guard towers.
Yep.
And as the sun sets, they hit a bell, and it's a distinct sound. And so you'll hear 11 noises. 11 noise. Shouldn't say noises. It's in some sort of chord. And then a certain amount of time goes by, and then they ring them again, and that's basically the shift change between, it's now the evening has begun, so people start closing up shops and everything starts to commence for the evening time. So it is beginning to get dark at the rejuvenating bog. When BrewCon returns, out of breath, I think technically I am past services, but I was delayed in town. I do have a message from Anton, and he pulls out, hands you a piece of paper, piece of parchment.
Okay. What were his services? What did he get charged for?
I think it was it like one?
Time?
Was it like one gold piece for 24 hours or something?
I'll flip him another gold piece and say, you service very well. Likely will be gone before 24 hours goes, in which case, consider it a bonus.
Tax free.
Yeah.
He thanks you profusely. He said he found someone you can talk to about your vampire issue. They wish to meet you at the memorial outside, close to midnight. Because basically the rejuvenating bog is kind of set in these hills, and outside the bog are a few streams, but it's like a huge memorial to the people, to those who died in the War of Fallen Friends. So there's kind of like a shrine, and so he says at the big shrine to the the War of Fallen Friends, close to midnight, they will meet you there to speak.
Okay.
Close to midnight, vampire hunters. That tracks.
Well, either that or it's the vampires. But more importantly, he said he brought a message from Anton. What does the message from Anton say?
I guess the question would be, which one of you would be the best at deciphering code?
Might be Basil. Or thief here.
Yeah. One of your thieves. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd have to be the thief.
So yeah, I would say Basil or Clintock. Give me intelligence roll.
Clintock will read over Basil's shoulder.
I got a 2.
Yeah, I rolled under as well. So
okay, so yeah, you both pick this up. This so he's right. He writes in some kind of, like, I wouldn't say it's thieves' cant, but it's some kind of code for not everybody would know. So the first question you asked him, turn privateer instead of execution. He basically writes, are you out of your fucking mind? And the second question is, what do we do, boss? He answers, that's why I hired you. And he said, and it says, where is the ship? And he says, Nogzeg Islands. Basically, that's an island chain in East Anor that's like south of the Sea of Endless Time. And then written at the bottom, it says, if you can wait till the full moon, I can get myself out.
how many days away is the full moon?
The full moon is 5 days away.
Oh boy.
And the execution is how many days away? It's like tomorrow, right?
He said the soonest would be tomorrow night.
So Orion doesn't say this out loud. This is a game master question. What kind of reputation do were creatures have in this world?
As far as, like, is it forbidden, or do people look?
Well, yeah. First, is it illegal? And second, does everybody claim that they rip throats out and leave villages decimated, or is it?
No, it doesn't have that kind of. That's like ancient legend. That's nobody believes any of that stuff. But
okay.
and in some places it's accepted if they have some kind of lycanthropy. In Clinkville, probably not. They probably wouldn't take too kindly to that. But where you were before, well, some of the crew was there in like mid-mountain. They wouldn't care as long as you weren't murdering villagers or something.
All right.
So how far away is the full moon?
5 days.
5 days.
5 days. In Basil will speak up. Oh yeah. Boss is he changes. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I've definitely seen him change. He's got a condition. That's what he calls it. But he doesn't seem to really mind.
What's he change into?
I believe a rat. He always calls it getting down and dirty, and I think it's kind of funny. Ethics always laughs a lot.
I wonder how Karn would feel about that. Were creatures.
Is Cuthbert not into were creatures?
I don't know. Do they have an alignment? They're chaotic, right? He's got to do what he's got to do to be able to advance the word as Cuthbert. So sometimes you travel in the wrong circles, but he might not be all that broken up if Ox got sacrificed either.
Ox did not choose to be aware to get the have this condition. He was thrust upon him by. I honestly don't remember. There was something that happened where he got bit.
Yeah.
He got hurt in the line of duty, and he is permanently disfigured and has a condition because of it. It wasn't by choice.
I will make sure there's nobody, close around who's likely to listen. Maybe we even need to go into Karn's private room that he rented, but for the next discussion, which is jailbreak, because it looks like if we want to get Ox out, it's going to be jailbreak.
Or we just see if we can delay the execution.
Felix, not having any bright ideas, says, how do we do such a thing?
Well, where do they execute people? Do they have a gallows or executioner block?
I don't know. It sounded like the last time you talked to the mayor, he was going to sell tickets and they were going to have it like in the town square.
Yeah, the mayor is the problem.
We can make it a tournament,
Wes,
right?
Clintock pipes up and says, well, in that case, we can just make sure that it's the best execution ever. And that takes time and planning and decorations and promotion.
Yeah.
Has anyone talked to the mayor about this? He doesn't want a rinky-dink execution if he's selling tickets, right?
Oh, great.
We can go out. We can offer to go out and help fundraise and sell these tickets.
Yeah, and we need like all day. We need like a multi-day event. Like day one is kids. We're selling like play axes and fake blood and giving them to the kids, and they're doing their own executions. Day two is the arm wrestling tournament. Day three, we kind of work up to the grand finale, which is the execution.
We make this a 6-day event.
On day 5, he escapes, and oopsie, not our problem, not our fault.
I think that's a great idea.
That's true. The mayor did show. Wes, were you around for the episode when we met the mayor?
Yeah, I was there the first time. I was there a time the mayor was there.
Right.
Oh.
Well, we only talked to him one episode, but yeah.
No, you're thinking about Brendan's character, the mayor. Right?
Oh, sorry, different mayor. Yes.
Different mayor. Yeah. He wasn't there when you met the mayor of Clinkville.
Well, okay. Short form is the guy is very seriously into, getting the vote. He's getting some pressure from the Ape Empire to execute the pirate. And so the question was whether you wanted to hold the execution before or after the Festival of Light?
Yeah, it's a Festival of Light.
And the mayor had somehow decided beforehand. But you're right. We may be able to convince him to make it a big do, since he's definitely the panem et circenses type of mayor, if you guys recognize the phrase. Bread and circuses from Roman history,
Yeah.
That's how they pacified the population. Free bread and go out to the Coliseum and watch people kill each other. If nothing else, it's funny as hell trying to talk the mayor into, the multi-day celebration. So I agree. Let's see if we can't go talk to the mayor.
Okay. Are you going to do it this evening, or are you going to wait till tomorrow?
Best done sooner
If
than
we
later.
go to him this evening, well, yeah, but if we go to him this evening, do we have time before our meeting with the with the maybe vampire hunters?
Yeah, I mean, it's like 6 p.m. So you got like 6 hours.
Oh yeah, we got time.
And I am hungry, and he had lots of food at his place. So like maybe he could maybe we could get some dinner too. In fact, we might get dessert if we're bringing such a great idea.
Yeah. Not to mention we can pitch the idea throughout the evening as more libations are there, like makes them more likely to listen to what we have to say.
Pitch it to the crowd. Pitch it to the crowd first. Come up with a sway the crowd. Then you help use the crowd to sway the mayor, since he's so big on votes.
The time of day that people are still out and about doing various things throughout the city, or is like everyone like settled in for the evening? I don't know, like what the general routine.
Yeah, there are people out. Yeah. There's some shops closed. I mean, others like the Sailor Seduction, now kicks into high gear.
Yeah.
Clintock will start by not suggest that we don't start by immediately going to the mayor's for dinner, but instead start by saying that they've heard of a rumor that the mayor is going to throw a 6-day festival.
There we go.
And definitely start by going to the place that you mentioned just a second ago.
Sailor Seduction.
The Sailor Seduction. And certainly the barkeep would have an interest in selling all the ale he can, and might be willing to spread the word for a few gold pieces.
That's an excellent idea.
Okay.
Is there another tavern we could also hit up to do that? I mean, Orion, you said you wanted to do a bar crawl. Like, this is a bar crawl with a purpose.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently we missed the good part last night, so maybe we could see Act 2 tonight.
It wouldn't hurt, Orion, if maybe you could think of a theme for this festival that you might be able to play as you crawl across all the bars in town.
A catchy tune, eh?
Yeah. I mean, if that is within your repertoire.
Oh.
Of course, making up tunes is within my repertoire. So what do we call this? The Festival of Light and Blood, First the Festival of Light, and then we kill people. Okay, that needs a little work.
We'll have to think our way through that one.
Okay, so you're going to hit up a couple of the taverns? Is that what the plan is?
Yeah.
Pirate's Doom?
Yep.
Something like that.
Do we know the method of execution, perchance?
Well, unfortunately, the mayor talked to the paladin and said, "What would you do with a known pirate?" And the paladin was like, "Put him to the sword, of course." So and the mayor's like, "Oh yeah, that sounds like a great idea." So our paladin got our captain put to the sword, or at least that's the plan. That was the plan there. Good job, paladin.
I mean, it's not all his fault.
Yeah,
The way he was brought up.
Karn isn't a known marketer, I'm sure. I mean, sorry, I apologize. You are very good at spreading the word of Cuthbert, but I think your marketing skills may not be so great in other areas. But it's okay. Several of the other party members, myself included, this is Clintock speaking. We can help you out with this. No worries. We will not stray from the path. We promise.
That's the most important thing. We must not stray from the path of Cuthbert.
Oh, help me out, guys. I'm having trouble coming up with a with an execution themed song.
I can think of marketing for it. Celebrate the safety of Clinkville.
Nice.
Sell it as the safety of, Okay.
Yeah, as a marketing ploy, at least. Maybe not the name, but come and celebrate the safety of Clinkville. Fun and games and prizes all week long.
Can you tell us a little bit about the holiday that's gonna happen? Like what does that look like, and exactly is it celebrating?
So there's the Arcone calendar, as you know it. The year is 1885, and that's what everybody uses, because the Arcone they have a lot of historical records, as you've seen, and they're good with time and stuff, so they do all that. Well, the apes have their own calendar that they started, and they call this time of year the Festival of Light. So it's supposed to keep the darkness away, the dark spirits away. Everybody gets candle. They all come together and have a festival, and sing and have drink mead and have their candles, and because the days are so short as far as sunlight goes. So the mayor is trying to promote the Festival of Light because it's the Ape Empire, and he wants to make sure he throws a good party because the people seem to like him a lot. A mention about having somebody run against him or turning the populace against him, but he is just so well liked in town that it'd be very difficult, at least in the amount of time that you have.
When does the Festival of Light?
It's like there's a bunch of days, 13 or 14 days. But you plan different things during that time. It's kind of broad. He's trying to he wants to do something in the window, and he was trying to decide whether I've got this execution. Maybe I want to put it off till the end. I don't want to spoil it. And then, no, wait, let's put it up front here and get it out of the way so, we can get on with all the festivities.
Oh, well, that's perfect then. It sets a nice midpoint for the festival. It serves as a beacon or a light of justice.
Right. You got to market this right, Mayor. We got to do this right. We shouldn't kick it off like that.
Yeah.
We should build everybody up to it.
Yeah.
Right. Get rid of the darkness, bring in the light for the new year, right in the middle. So right in the middle of it,
Yeah, and at first you start off, clearly there are more executions, right? I'm sure they have petty thieves and such that they can execute leading up to this. So, yeah, they can just work their way up. And what better than the captain of this grand pirate ship that's has been captured to prove that not even a captain is above justice in the mayor's light.
Why am I playing the part if you guys are planning the campaign? Never mind.
Thieves got to find a way to thieve. That's all I gotta say.
And it sounds like a great opportunity to train. Like, I can really bring the competition out. The Sailor Seduction was pretty lacking, and I mean, they just wanted to punch people, which, you know, I also like that too, but it's not nearly as fun. So like this could be great because this could get people out. I could get my can work on my form. I'm excited.
All right.
I want to just break him out of jail. I mean, I could just climb up there and open up the doors in the middle of the night.
You could try.
And what happens if you get caught, Basil?
Oh, I run. I'm real good at running.
Yes, you are.
I'm really good at running. Yeah, okay, that's the point, yes.
And that still leaves us without a captain.
I could be captain.
Felix pipes up. Have you ever captained more than a rowboat?
Oh, I didn't even captain that. That was the hobgoblin.
That's true.
I was gonna say, wasn't he one of the ones on that raft in the Underdark that sort of? Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That was what Felix was alluding to.
Yeah, but he also was in a boat with a hobgoblin too.
Yep. Passed out both times.
Yes. 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 All right. So are you going to hit the bars here? Hit the
Yeah, that's what Clintock is gonna do. He's gonna try and go.
Yeah. So the theme is going to be add justice to the Festival of Light.
Yeah.
And add justice to the Festival of Lights, and with the justice being knock off the pirate at the height of the Festival of Lights. And I'll make a good rousing song about it's not just enough to it's not just enough to light a candle in the darkness. You must push back the darkness. Fight back against the darkness song.
Oh, you could teach it to other bards and we can pay them to go throughout the city and sing it instead of trying to do it all ourselves.
Sure.
But then the credit might go to them and not Orion. And I don't know. That sounds like something I wouldn't want.
Orion goes, doesn't matter to me. Matter of fact, it'd be nicer if the social manipulation were a little obfuscated,
Felix
In
pipes
other
up.
words, if you're going to start a rumor, it better not be that easily traceable back to you. So whoever came up with the idea of hiring other bards for is probably good. Just not that damn guy with the dulcimer last night. Oh God.
Felix pipes up. I'm not very persuasive, but happy to provide some gold to this endeavor.
So make up a song, see if we can't track down some other bards, pay them to push the idea of, push back the darkness festival with executing the dread pirate in the middle. Sounds like we got a plan. And still have time to make our midnight meeting with the vampire hunters. Or who knows, maybe it's the vampires come to get us. That'll be fun.
And still show up to talk to the mayor before that.
Right. Might have to do that tomorrow. Okay. Get the rumor out there tonight. Get the idea out there tonight, and then go see him tomorrow. And we heard this around the town. Everybody's talking about it. Isn't that what you're gonna do?
Not a bad idea.
Brucon says that there are 4 places basically you need to go that you would get probably the most bang for your buck. The Dark Fang, the Goblin's Den, obviously the Sailor's Seduction probably will be the last stop, and the Greasy Fly Food and Spirits. Those are probably the places that you want to go that will have the most impact.
That sounds like they have great food.
So he
I can't tell if that's a last. I can't tell if that's a final stop or a first stop.
he says he's going to lead you to the university, the scholars district, where you were when you first saw the mayor's house, and you walked right by it, heading into Clinkville. That's where the Goblin's Den is. It's a student hangout, and he leads you. Basically, you're on one end of Clinkville, like the southern end, and you go all the way north, walking through the night, past the Noble District, past different towers, past a few gates, and enter the university area where there's sprawling buildings, and up to a small, like, rickety building that looks like, a good gust of wind could knock this thing over. All the other buildings here are like marble. They look really nice compared to this thing. So it's, probably something of a tradition or whatever. And there's some probably students hanging out, just kind of talking, drinking some ale, like conversation. They got some, lights on, and there's a sign that's like on the window, says Goblin's Den, that somebody's painted on there. And you guys enter, and there's you hear the voices and the noise of all the tables. It's pretty crowded. Everybody give me a D6 roll.
6.
3.
Okay, so Orion, you go in there, and it's a pretty crowded, but in the far corner you spot Remy, and she is sitting with someone, and they are eating. Dustin, give me a D20 roll.
2.
So there's a smell of cranberries, and somebody walks by with a big plate full of cranberry scones, like headed out, going to a table, and there's, some mead and ale being served. Somebody comes up to you, can I help you? You need a seat? You'll sit outside. You looking for a drink? Got the scones.
I'd like a drink.
Sting?
You sing? Yeah, sing. Go for it.
Sure. Need some lubrication first, or need some lubrication. So.
Yeah, he reaches over and grabs a drink off somebody's table who hasn't had about to grab it. And they just, okay, here you go. I'll get you another one. Don't worry about
it. All right. So apparently they won't the commotion. All righty.
They want to hear you sing.
Zophan's going to get a drink. Basil's going to start looking for. He's gonna start looking for competition, okay. And he's gonna prepare to call them out if he sees them.
Okay,
but he's not gonna like wrestle them here.
Over at Basil and says, yeah, I understand. I'm not gonna keep you from flexing your arm, but remember, we got a message to spread, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to tell them to come to the tournament. It's going to be on the day before. So I'm going to generate buzz.
All right. So my opener is going to be, find the stage or, best area for sound around here.
Mm-hmm.
Open up with a couple of power chords. To get attention, just bang it out to get attention, and then yell out, bring justice to the festival of light, and then give them the rousing song to get started. Fight back the fight back the darkness and fight back the darkness song, and then. After we get them worked up with the fight back the darkness song, talk about You should bring justice to the festival of light. You know, execute the dread pirate at the height of the festival, and then hit him with the song again. I'm not going to give him a long polemic, no big speech, just the core ideas. Add justice to the festival, execute the pirate at the height of the festival, and hit them with a couple of songs to get them happy about the idea.
Okay. Is anybody doing anything else? Like when this song is going on?
Clintock is gonna like sidle up to the bar and start talking to the bartender.
What are you telling him?
Just I will tell him that the rumor about this, like the lead up to the festival and the execution, and that if he wouldn't mind passing it on to any people, that would be great. And as I order a drink, I will overpay 5 gold pieces.
Okay. Okay, nice. Okay, so give me a 2d6 roll.
Yep.
Add your charisma.
Was that to Clintock or to me?
That's Clintock.
Okay.
22.
22?
Yeah.
2d6?
2d6. I got 2 4s and then 14.
Oh, no.
I think charisma modifier.
Yeah, you modifier. My bad. So 8 plus 4 is 14 a plus 1.
Oh yeah.
He takes the money as the song is going on and kind of nods like, I hear what you're saying. Okay, so Orion, roll 3d6, add your charisma modifier, and you drop the lowest die.
Okay. Survey says 6 and a 4. So 6 4 plus 1 is 11.
Okay. So the song, you get most of their attention. One person put, hey, will there be free beer?
Of course there'll be free beer.
Yeah, they're all on board. Everybody starts cheering. They come up and they start congratulating you. And
yeah, matter of fact, free beer tonight. How much is that gonna set me back for a round for everyone? Sorry, not free beer. Round for everyone.
Yeah. So just leave the tab. Add it to the tab.
Let's see.
The mayor's tab.
Wow.
So probably for 10 gold, you could probably get everybody an ale in here.
All right, I'll drop 15.
Okay.
Always keep the bartender happy too. Let him take a little off the top.
Yeah. The drinks are coming out. Everybody's happy. There's a couple more people filling into the goblins den to get some drink. There's something about free beer they heard outside, so they're coming in.
So we got 1 down, 3 to go? I'll mention to let's see, who do I trust? Felix is usually pretty trustworthy. Before we got, like between the first and second songs, I'll mention to Felix that I think I saw Remy over there in the corner. Might want to see what that is if he's willing to talk about it.
Yeah, at some point I will go and over and say hi to Remy.
Okay, yeah, she is in like the corner at a table drinking. She's got a plate. There's a plate full of the cranberry scones, which you can smell the fresh cranberries, and drinking a mead with another young gentleman there who's got a beret and like a fancy cloak. And she sees you. Hello. And she like, have a seat, sit down.
Oh, thank you very much. What brings you to the Goblin's Den this evening?
Oh, just taking a break and enjoying. I'm so sorry. This is Crispin Monet, my friend.
reach out my hand and
Yeah, he shakes your hand and he like bows. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Remy's told me all about what you've done. She said great story to tell.
So you've heard all about the dragon then?
He looks at you, then looks at her. And then nods. Yeah, the dragon.
Remy, not so much. Remy's a bit cagey, sounds like.
And she's like, "Oh, Orion's gonna Orion. That was a great song, and the mayor's gonna hold this festival. This is great."
Yeah, it should be pretty exciting. Have you thought about what you might do during the festival, Remy?
Oh, I have a lot of work I got to get done. I might take a break and come down and see what's going on.
Anything in particular you need help with?
She kind of like looks at you like, in reference to.
Oh, you have a lot of work, and if you're running errands or whatnot, maybe you need somebody to help you get supplies or anything for your research, and happy to lend a hand. Also, I don't know who you need to talk to get some of these old texts that you work with, but if you need to have somebody around to make sure nobody roughs you up, happy to help there.
Crispin kind of like stands up. Oh well, I mean, I can handle myself if need be. And he points to his like dagger that he's got on his side.
A dagger helps, but against a sword, it's not very good.
Got me there. She says, I might. You guys will be at the rejuvenating bog for a while, I guess, since you're part of this. Yeah, I might come by. Yeah, I might come by tomorrow.
Oh, well, look forward to seeing you. And then I'll depart.
Okay. And then Crispin shakes you, like bows as you leave, stands up.
I go, no. You don't need to bow. I already said it.
Okay. And then he sits back down. And as soon as you leave, he kind of leans over. You can see he's like questioning her about something.
Dragon.
Felix just talked to Remy. Orion has done his speech. I believe Clintock talked to the barkeep, tipped him some gold. Everybody got drinks. The free beer is going to be had at this wonderful festival. And it seems like everybody who's at the university, at least at the Goblin's Den, is on board. So he is going to.
Right.
Are you making sure you thank the mayor for such a wonderful thing when you sing? Are you thanking the mayor?
No, I'm not really mentioning the mayor at all. I'm just pushing the idea of the festival. You guys want to work the crowd, mention the mayor, whatever. I'm just pushing the idea of the festival.
Wondering if we should box him into a corner with it, where if he decides to go against it, he knows public opinion is going to be against him.
Maybe we could do that at the next place, because then people will hear slightly different versions of the events, and that'll cause them to generate buzz.
Okay, sure, why not? All right, so where are we headed next? Dark Fang, Greasy Fly, Food and Spirits. Boy, I love that name.
This is like the administrative district, and you had gone close to where the Emperor lives. So this is like almost 2 blocks from the Emperor's palace. So a lot of the administrative, like, your town hall and the jail and the courthouse and all this stuff is in this area. And there's a place called the Dark Fang, which looks like, despite its name, something of it's kind of refined. And he leads you right up to the door, Brucon, and that there is a doorman there, a human with a heavy cloak, because it is winter and the sun has gone down, so the temperature is dropping. And he sees your group and he's like, I will see if we have a table to suffice your party for this evening.
Yeah, and I was wondering if you guys had a bard for the evening.
It's still early in the evening, but we would entertain a song as he looks down at his hand.
Wow.
How much? Let's see. In other words, grease the palm. Let's see. I'll drop him a couple of minted. So they're 3-1, so that's about 6, right?
Yeah, he looks at it and he says, "Oh, I hope there's an encore." Puts it in his pocket and opens the door. You may come in. So it's dimly lit, looks fine, crafted wood. Everybody looks, it's probably, it's between like middle, upper class, noble, probably some nobles in here. Wes, give me a D20 roll.
Yep. 8.
Will they make Karn wait outside with his dog?
I didn't know you brought the dog. I figured it was back at back in the room sleeping.
Oh no, he's going to take that dog everywhere he goes now.
Okay.
He doesn't mind if they make him wait outside.
No, I mean, he kind of gives it one look, and he looks at the money. He feels the money. He's like, "Go on in."
Dog, heal.
Paul, give me a D20 roll.
13.
You see plates of pasta with some kind of gravy on it. That's the smell of, and there's a lot of baked bread. And then somebody walks past you with this huge raspberry cake. It's got like raspberry, covered in raspberries. It's some sort of rum raspberry cake they're having tonight, cutting off huge slices of it.
Uh-oh.
There's a waiter there, and he says, yeah, it's a table for, and he's counting all the people, and your companion.
He'll stay at my feet.
Oh, yes, he is welcome. As the
Very
doorman,
well.
as he's closing the door, the doorman like winks at him. Yes, he is welcome.
Somebody's going to have to share their tip. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah. I'll need treats for him as well.
Okay. So they lead you to a table that sits, I would assume 8, because or 7, or however many your characters there are.
Yes.
There's a couple lamps, and they bring out a huge bowl of fresh baked bread. It smells really good, and a tub of butter.
Basil just digs right in.
And the person looks and goes, and then I will get more bread.
He'll like lean in. This is the nicest place I've eaten at in a while. Besides the mayor's. The mayor's is way nicer.
You mind your manners, everything will be fine. Karn takes like a really small piece of bread, puts a little bit of butter on there, rips it in half, gives half to the dog and half for himself. You have to watch the carbs, stay in good shape.
Oh, I'm going to offset this with trading. This is a cheat day.
As you will. Cuthbert doesn't like a cheat.
So tonight's special is bow tie pasta with gravy and rum raspberry cake.
That's a lot of carbs.
Is there meat in the back that you could add to that?
Yes, we have some salmon in the back, if you wish.
Yes, I would like some on top. And then if you happen to find a roasted chicken, you could throw that in there too. I won't mind.
Okay, the roasted chicken.
Perhaps the same for myself.
The salmon and the chicken?
You can leave out the salmon.
So does it seem like does this seem, so it's like upper middle class? Is it like pretty quiet in here?
Yeah, everybody's having like polite conversation, yes.
Okay.
Not that vulgar crowd at the other place.
I guess I'll corral the greeter, since I don't want to slow down one of the wait staff, and tell him that the doorman said I could play a little here. Where's a good spot?
So he leads you to kind of the center where they have set up like some glasses and stuff. So some like the serving staff will go by and grab a glass. So kind of like, and there's like, he pulls a little stool out and he says, are you wishing to sing a song or two?
Yeah, that's the idea. And you know your crowd pretty well. Just want to know, what's this crowd think about the mayor?
He kind of surveys the crowd. He says, there's a few here that probably don't care for him much.
Is that, but would they be the majority, or would they be like, would the majority be okay with the guy?
I think the majority will be fine as he's looking at the tables. Of course, and he reaches around this little partition where the glasses are and pulls a wine bottle out. Of course, they could be encouraged.
Right. Feel my money draining.
Karn reaches into his pouch and slides 10 golds over to Orion. Help defray the cost.
Yeah, do you need money?
Very well.
Are you having a hard time? I could give you a loan with low interest.
No interest. All right. So what are we looking at? What are we looking at to, pour a glass of wine for everybody? Not a bottle. But send around the round.
So yeah, to give everybody a glass of wine, it'll probably be 20 gold pieces.
Damn.
Come, friends, cough up. It's a common cause.
All right.
Basil will pull out 30 and plop it on the table.
Ooh. That will definitely help. Thank you, Basil.
Yeah, as long as it's good wine. And I want a glass too. It's going to be getting thirsty watching everybody else drink, not me.
You can have my glass. Water for me.
So he grabs the rest of the wait staff and they start giving glasses, going to the different table, opening the bottles and pouring a glass of wine for everybody. And everybody's like, oh, what's oh no, some kind of an event. Oh no. And then he's like, oh, the guy, oh. They start nodding and they're like, everybody seems to be in a good mood. Like all eyes are on you now.
All righty. So, well, it's that time of day. I'll stand up and take the bottle and rap on it. It's like rapping on the glass for attention. And don't want to try rabble rousing with this crowd, but let's see if we can't get a good joke in first, make everybody laugh since they're already drunk. It's like, you guys all know how the mayor loves to change his plans, right?
Right. Yep.
Well, it's happening again.
What's it this time?
Well, there's going to be a festival there's going to be a little addition to the Festival of Light. There's going to sort of a bring justice to the Festival of Lights theme with the pirate we've heard about being
Oh yes,
executed
the
at
pirate.
height
Oh
of the
yes,
festival.
yes, the pirate. There's a lot of whispers about this pirate that they've heard about.
Clintock will say, and trying to throw his voice, a ruthless scallion.
But in any case, yes, the mayor, we all know the mayor loves his popularity and loves his festivals. So here's a little preview, and I'll go into the song, except I won't hit it quite as hard as I did in the student place, you know.
Okay.
Still keep it a good tempo, but not a rabble rouser, since these guys are a slightly better crowd.
All right, so give me 2d6 and add your charisma. Yeah, 3d6. You can drop the lowest.
4, a 5, and a +1.
It's received fairly well. Some people are tipping their glasses to you. They seem relieved that something's going to be done with this pirate because, it only breeds problems, and they don't want, they don't want him getting out, or some like they don't want some pirates showing up trying to break him out of Clinkville, and they don't want any trouble. And dealing with this is taking a stand. They're all happy about that. Basil, your pasta comes out with some salmon on it and a big roasted chicken sitting in the middle.
All right. Just what I needed. And he just starts digging into it. He's going to try fork and knife to see if he can make that work.
Okay.
What's your character class anyway? Barbarian?
Fighter. He's like more of like a pugilist fighter.
I'm sorry. Felix needs to take him aside and teach him a little precision there.
Different weapons call for different approaches.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Basil turns.
Basil's very much the blunt instrument, eh?
All right. So, this crowd seems to be happy with that. They're enjoying the wine. You notice on the bottle that it is from the mayor's winery, so that probably helped your cause.
Internally, not going to say this out loud, of course, the character is just laughing his ass off because the Ox gave us this bullshit about, we asked him what we wanted to do, what he wanted us to do, and his answer was, "That's why I hired you." And so, of course, we're getting the crowd worked up for his execution. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
If Ox were here, Ox would be proud.
Yeah, okay. My character obviously doesn't know him that well, but whatever. It's a solid plan. So
Yeah.
It's a fun plan too.
Yeah, I like this plan.
That's half the battle. It's a popularity plan. So in any case, since this isn't a rabble-rousing crowd, I'll give them like 2 slightly slower songs.
Okay.
And then just make sure that everybody heard the message again. Get the attention. Give them the spiel about how the mayor, God, that old mayor, he's changing up the festival again. Darn him, and hit him with the fiery song again at the end, and then see if I got a chance to suck back some food before we go on to the next place because
If you did eat the pasta, it was 1 gold piece. The pasta and the gravy, if you had chicken on it, it's 2 gold pieces. And if you had chicken and salmon, it's 3.
You know, you got to pay extra for protein. So Basil pay.
yeah, keep an eye on the time too. We need to make our midnight meeting.
Yeah, what time is it?
So it is around, I would say 8:30 in the evening.
Okay. So it's only been a couple
Okay.
hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
We should
Plenty
be
of time,
fine.
Plenty of time.
Okay.
So we're on to this, the Sailor Seduction.
Or is it Greasy Fly or Sailor Seduction? Which is it going to be next?
So yeah, Brucon said probably Sailor Seduction probably should be last.
Are we trying to let the crowd build up there?
That's what Brucon thinks. Probably the later the better. There's a rumor that there's some party going to happen like late tonight. That's what he's heard.
Party?
Are they going to be drunk and stupid? Because I'm pretty sure they don't allow that.
So they allow it.
Oh, they allow.
You know why they allow it.
And they use they allow it, they use it, that's for sure.
Get your meal. You head over to the Greasy Fly, which is in the Merchant District. The Greasy Fly Food and Spirits is also an inn. It's got a big fly on the top of the building. And you enter, and it's a little bit more your guys' style. The other place was kind of like a little bit uptight. This is more your guys' kind of place. There seems to be more of an adventuring crowd, or I would say non-resident crowd here. A lot of different social classes. You know, you can see some people look poor, some people look like nobility. It's kind of a mixed mash group, and it's kind of seat yourself at like these round tables, and all the chairs. Basically, you sit on like what looks like a barrel. It's got like a wood top. And at the center on this table, etched in the center of the table, is like the outline of a fly. Let's see, what are they serving tonight? This is just games about just people eating food. Russell, give me a D20 roll.
D20. Looks like a 6.
Paul, give me a D20 roll.
14.
So you smell pecans, and they drop a huge pecan pie right in the middle of that table, with some plates and a server, serving utensil, and you can smell broccoli and chicken cooking. Welcome to the Greasy Fly.
Dessert first, my favorite.
Yeah, why not? Because the rest of life is uncertain.
Profound words.
Yeah, speaking of the good parts of the evening first, how are you guys set up for bards?
Well, we like them to sing tenor or 12 miles away. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Come on.
10 or 12 miles away.
But I see you do stand-up comedy quite well.
Yes, that's my day job. At night, I get to work here.
Well, aren't you special?
That's what they tell me.
So can I tell if the server is serious about pushing me off, or?
You would get from the vibe of this place that, of course, bards could play. He's just trying to be funny.
Okay. it's an adventure bar. It's like an adventure bar or out of towner bar. Okay.
Yeah, and there's like you see there's like a makeshift stage. He's like, right there, go ahead.
Really? You guys don't have somebody?
Oh, sometimes we have people coming, they come in every once in a while.
Well, our plan to find bards is going down the tubes, but okay, we're getting the word out. This is still a plus, still a plus.
It seems like you're one of the few bards that must be in this town. Either that or it's because it's a Tuesday night, or maybe this is just like a weeknight or something.
They're all at some kind of convention out of town. You step up to the stage and you quickly notice that the backdrop is all these marks, and there's a couple daggers sticking into the wall.
Uh-oh. Feisty crowd here.
All righty. Well, make sure I have my chain shirt on then. Wow. Sorry, trying to think of an opener. Trying to think of an opener here that goes with the place. Heck with it. Jump in and hope I don't get stabbed. And I'll look at the table. And
is that your opener?
I'll
yeah, that's a great opener.
I'll look at the table as I'm walking away and go. If you guys throw anything, you better aim to miss. Because I know this crowd will at least think about it. I'm not going to one-line it. I'm just going to walk up, start the heavy foot tap that gives, that thump, 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 thump.
Mm-hmm.
And with the lead in, rip right into the song there.
Is anybody doing anything else?
Basil orders a few tomatoes in case the bard sucks, so I can throw them at him.
Yes, okay. They seem to have them on hand pretty quickly.
Clintock will go around after the first song and like the starts going off and people understand what's going to happen at the festival.
Mm-hmm.
I will mention to a handful of tables that they're going to be looking for security guards. So if they needed work, that like they might stick around a couple more days. There might be some work in it for them.
Okay. Is Basil or Zofan going to do anything? Besides Basil ordering more chicken? You people in your carbs.
Yeah, right. Zofan is going to he's going to get very involved and like clapping, but also kind of like dancing around. And like if there is with his charisma of 7, if there is a female in the area that looks like she might want to dance, he will try to like get her to get excited too and like invite her to dance.
All right. Okay. Give me let's go. All right. So first, all right, Basil. Give me that good old 2d6 roll. We'll add your charisma. I'll give you a +1.
He's gonna need it. That is so that negates my -1 modifier, which is good. That's a 7.
Yeah, you get somebody. She kind of stands up and like she's like kind of dancing sort of from a distance, like mirroring what you're doing.
It's just like a distance, like across the room, like we're both just kind of like smooth bopping. Okay.
All right, Orion, 2d6. 3d6, drop the lowest. Let's see how it goes here at the Greasy Fly.
Ooh. 6 and 2. +1. So 9 total.
They're kind of like, you do get the impression that there might be work. So from like what Clintock said, so they're like, yeah. And then the door busts open and somebody comes staggering and go, "Did you tell about the free fucking beer?" And everybody goes, "Yeah." And you realize it's one of the people from the other place you'd been to. And they kind of like stagger in.
And I will riff right back. The mayor owns a winery. It's going to be free wine.
That stuff tastes like shit. So they're riled up.
Okay, yeah. Since that guy provided me with a wonderful opener, I'll hit the high points. Since we didn't have a chance to work the whole crowd, we'll hit the basic details. Festival of Justice along with the Festival of Lights, leading up to the execution of the pirate in the middle. Blah 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 blah. And of course, the free beer.
Yay!
Or pissy wine. Whatever.
So anything you're gonna do at the greasy that's where we're at. Greasy fly before you leave?
Maybe not eat the food. Since I ate at the good place.
Okay.
I'll just make sure to chat with the guy who broke in with the free beer line a little.
Yeah, there's not much of a conversation.
I just pat him on the back. And tell him he did a great job there.
Yeah, and he like grabs you by the shoulder and he's like, "Dude, you're just so good." He's like, "But I'll tell you what, your breath smells like mothballs. You know that? Way bad."
How kind.
I'll let you in on a little secret, dude. Don't stick it to the crazy.
Fucking A. And he goes and sits down at like a random table and just like starts talking to a bunch of people. The free beer. Did you hear about the free beer, man? Oh, all right. So it's probably like 10 o'clock at this time. And you guys in the evening, as you head to the Sailor Seduction, head up to the front. Of course, there's a big, like the part of a ship sticking out the front, and it's right on the edge of Clinkville. You can smell the ocean and almost hear the waves, and there's a guard tower behind it that's kind of lit up. You enter, and there's two dwarves in there. They see you guys come in. Oh yeah, I guess you're back for more, huh?
I heard we left too early the last time. What were the later acts?
They both look at each other and like snicker. Oh, I've never been one to, bite and tell.
Well, I'll tell you what. This time we brought our bard. He says he can show up those other guys we heard.
I don't know. The other guys are pretty good. I mean, yeah, he could totally show them up.
Well, just it's the standard 1 gold piece for the lot of you.
All right.
Remember, don't get drunk and stupid.
You can count on me.
That's sage advice. I'll have water.
So what's the mystery brew of the night?
Give me a D20 roll.
Oh, 1.
What was it? It was mint. Well, last time was mint and okay, it was this.
It was red pepper.
There was a spicy blend, a cardamom, and let's see what else. Come on, I even wrote it down. Because there were three. There was a spicy blend, the cardamom, and the ginger beer.
Okay. All right. All right. So I just need Wes and Dustin, give me a D20 roll.
I rolled a 3.
Okay.
I also rolled a 3.
All right, roll
Nice.
All right. 8.
8 or 18?
18.
The nat 20. It tastes like chicken.
So you enter, it looks the same, and somebody is on the stage performing and like singing. It would make would make Yoko Ono sound like Mariah Carey.
That's not good.
And this person finishes and you see this gray-haired old man in the back go, that was very good. Yes. And he's clapping.
Oh, God, it's Loach.
Oh, my friends have arrived. Oh, come, have a seat over here. All the drinks are on me. Mystery brews for all of you.
Oh, God, it's Loach again. This guy lives in this place.
I bet he gets a cut of the bringing people in there.
So the waiter comes out and hands you guys all 40s of the mystery brews. Orion, you take a sip. It tastes like cumin.
Oh, we got a cumin again.
And there's one that tastes like rosemary. And then good old ginger beer.
Arn asks for water, and Basil looks at him kind of funny and remembers the other night and goes, "Water for me too."
Hand you 2 glasses of water. There's some stuff floating in it, so it's all natural, so it'll be all right.
Karn looks at his, sets it down. Basil pretends to take a sip, sets it down.
Orion will even say this out loud, look at Karn and go, paladins can cure disease, can't they?
When they've been in the service of Cuthbert a little longer than I have, then yes, we can.
Well, maybe you'll get it in advance.
I think it's, I don't think Karn's got high enough level to do that. A paladin at a 5th level or higher may cure disease once per week by laying on hands.
I see it.
It's under laying on hands.
Yeah.
But he,
fair enough.
You're joking, but he's just straight faced and
Yeah, I know. Karn's the perfect straight man if you want to play off. I mean, Orion respects him, but won't keep Orion from pulling his leg a little.
Oh yeah, no.
This place is.
He likes Orion, so it's his goal to someday convert you to Cuthbert.
Oh God. It's my goal. Currently, it's my goal to someday get enough breath mints to overwhelm the mothball taste. Great.
This place isn't as nice
All
as
right, so
the Greasy Fly Trap, which is not quite what I was expecting.
it was a good place.
Yeah, it was probably my favorite that we went to.
Before the next terrible act comes up, I'll look at Loach and say, well, tell you what, you're treating us, I'll treat you to, my version of entertainment, and, walk straight over there before the next, bad act comes out.
Oh yeah, and he's got this long gray beard. He starts stroking it. Oh yeah, excellent. Another mystery room over here.
I'll be slowly sipping the mystery brew.
So the
Okay.
so there's like 6 people in here. I mean, as far as all the places go, this is the deadest. There's like nobody in here.
Wow.
Damn.
What time?
Well,
What time is it again?
It's like 10 past 10 at night.
They keep shanghaiing their customers. What do you expect?
I remember
Okay.
there being a few more people than when we came in here last night.
And one of the dwarfs comes out, opens the door, and he looks in. He goes, "Hold up, we have a special guest coming." And he kind of opens the door, and this entourage of people start walking through, like wearing robes, and they dressed, and they're holding bottles of wine, like glasses of wine, and one of them stands in the front and says, "Behold, the mayor of Clickville,
Uh-oh.
Mayor Gumdrop." Oh, don't, please don't. And they just start piling in. And then you hear in the back, "The fucking mayor."
Oh no.
And the
Never
mayor comes and
again.
sits right in front of the stage.
Abort! Abort!
"Oh, yes, the
No.
mayor has arrived. A little early."
Does he usually come
Oh,
to this
You
place?
should have seen him last night after the hours. Loesch has a
Oh,
story
boy.
to tell.
Well, pray you loosen your lips a little further. I'm curious.
Pete, good one. Not good one. Nice trick.
And that one guy comes wandering
Now,
in who was at the Greasy Fly. He's like, "Hey, man, all right." And he's like, goes and sits down next to the mayor. "Free fucking beer." The mayor just puts his arm around him. I'm waiting to be entertained. Where's the song?
Okay. Well, and can't tell him. Oh man, you got me good there. Okay. I'm gonna push it this way. Mayor, I have the greatest idea ever for the Festival of Lights. You will be remembered forever for this. And voted forever too. We call it the light of justice. Execute the dread pirate at the height of execute the dread pirate at the height of the festival, showing that indeed we are not just lighting candles to push back the darkness. We are being active about it. Sorry, not great wording. And then before he has too much of a chance to argue or say anything, I'll just hit right into the song. I don't want him to think too much before I start working the crowd.
Yeah, give me a 2D. Well, what is everybody else doing? As the mayor has arrived with his entourage.
Karn stands up at attention. Basil's looking around like he's a little confused. When he gets done introducing and he's getting ready to go into the song, Karn will clap his hands together loudly a couple of times and shout out something like, "Yes, the light of justice."
At least he's trying. Okay.
Clintock will sidle up next to the entourage and ask whoever who is in charge of planning the festivities for the Festival of Light.
The Cognoscenti.
Do they point the person out?
Yeah. They're standing in the back, in like covered in robes that bright colors.
Okay. I'll make my way over to them and say that, I've heard you're planning this spectacular festival. I heard from around town that it's going to be bigger than what was originally planned, and that the mayor was thinking about holding off the execution until the middle of the festival.
I have not heard this, but the bigger the ceremony, the production, the better. I've always wanted something more than what the city has gotten every year, but we just have not had the spark, the motivation. But it seems like we have found it.
I mean, with you at the helm, like, if you threw this spectacular festival, like, surely you would be given free rein to throw more festivals, more opulent festivals even.
Yes. Also could be in line for some sort of pay raise too.
Exactly. I mean, if you make the mayor famous with your festivals, like, surely he would pay you in kind.
Yes, yes, holding off this. Maybe this execution will be at the end of the climax of this festival.
Is there anyone in your entourage that maybe a treasurer that would try and put a damper on this festival?
Oh, there's one who watches the books, but the mayor does what he pleases, and if he thinks this is a good idea, then we'll just have to increase the funding. We'll have to get more donations.
Donations?
Yes, donations to the mayor's various charities.
Who particularly donates to the mayor?
Oh, there are those in the noble houses. There are those. There are certain collections that are done for the populace.
Is the mayor the wealthiest man in town?
Oh, if you mean by like gold and jewels, then I'm not sure. But in spirit and kindness and worldly understanding, he is certainly the most rich. He is certainly the richest man.
That goes for a lot. And a magnificent festival could only increase his wealth.
Yes, I think so. And I will speak with him before things kick off, before tonight's activities have him preoccupied.
That sounds like a splendid idea, but I wanted to let you know that I myself have thrown many a soiree, so if you need any assistance, let me know and I can help with the planning.
Well, you were part of this group that came in and found the girl.
Indeed.
All of you have so many talents. The mayor is very appreciative of this, and he will certainly look out for you.
Oh, fantastic. I don't want to keep you from the evening's festivities, so I will bid you adieu. And I'm glad that you have the mayor's ear.
Yes.
And then I will, once I finish talking to him, I'll go to the bar and let the bartender know that to give the finest bottle of wine that he has to the party planner.
There you go. That's thinking.
Oh, flattering bribes. I love the way Clintock operates.
He pours a mystery brew for him.
Gotcha.
And has one brought over, and he kind of looks. He's like, the look is kind of like, oh, I'm being accepted here. Somebody got me a drink.
Nice.
I'm like part of the crowd.
How much did that cost me?
That is 1 gold piece.
Oh, okay.
All right. So yeah, your song is done. Anybody is Basil or Basil
Basil with his mystery beer. It's about mostly gone at this point. And he like puts his arm around the mayor, and he's like, "Look, I heard you're expanding this multi-day festival, and I've got a 5-point plan. Okay, and this is going to raise your vote share, and it's going to bring a new level of fame to Clinkville. So we're going to throw an arm wrestling tournament, but hear me out. Point one.
The drunk guy who he's like next on his other side's like, listen to this fucking guy. Listen to him.
Point one. You send couriers to New Tanjau City and all the neighboring principalities at advertising the event. Drum up interest. 2, require an entry fee. That's important because you can't get in for free. It's going to be donation money for you. It'll be great. 3, and this is one of the best parts. You either participate or you choose a champion, and you encourage your competition to choose a champion or participate. And we have the political bracket go the first day. Get people excited. Point 4, free beer for the winners.
Free fucking beer.
Listen to this guy. Point 5, free beer for the losers.
Free fucking beer.
Point 6, free beer for the spectators. And all right. Point 7 of my 5-point plan. The top prize is a top of the line commodious first class to the champion. That'll make sure that you get lots of people to come in, that you get which means a lot of donations, which means a lot of publicity, which means a guaranteed election, at least for the next couple rounds, elections.
The mayor is floored by what you said. He quickly calls somebody over and has them write everything down you just said. And the other guy's like, free fucking beer. Put that down right there.
Free fucking beer.
Thank you. I appreciate what you've done. You've saved the noble girl, and then now you're giving me great ideas for this festival. You're a boon to Clinkville. You're all citizens. You will all vote for me if you choose. I mean, I don't want to push you.
It's going to take some time to get it. So it's important that we have time to make sure that get the word out, to get the festivities in line. And we would definitely want the political bracket to go first because, hey, that's important. That really puts you on the map. So you got to choose a good champion, or I can put you through my 10-point training plan to get your arm the level of this arm.
Prince Zofan, can you count to 10?
If I wanted to, I could.
Very well.
Give me a 2d6 roll. Add your charisma.
Good thing Basil's got good. He's pretty charismatic. So that is a 10.
Okay. He's like, I don't think I need to look any further. I have found my champion. And he grabs you by the arm and lifts you up. You will be my champion
Oh God!
on the first day of these festivities.
This is a mistake you will not regret. I mean, this is this is not a decision you will regret, Mayor Sir. I will go train right away. Shouldn't have had that cheat day.
All right.
Doesn't like a cheat.
Unless anybody's gonna do anything else. So Ryan, let's see how that performance goes. 2D, throw 3D6. A lot of 3D6. Drop the lowest.
As soon as he starts playing, Karn and Basil start clapping loudly to the
The crowd, yeah, work the crowd, work the crowd, work the crowd.
Karn stomping
All right.
with it, looking at people,
Five,
them to clap.
5, 5, and 1, so 11.
Okay. The mayor is most pleased with your performance.
Excellent.
He gives a long clap. His whole entourage claps as well, and he stops. And then they stop, and he starts clapping again, and they stop, and he claps once, and they clap, and he sits down. And Loesch is laughing. Oh, you've done well for yourself, Vard. Yeah, I'm delighted. Yes. Oh, well, are you going to stay for the late hour evening events? That's why the mayor's here. It's going to get freaky.
Yeah.
What is the late hour evening event? I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, and it sometime after midnight, of course.
We'll have to come back. We have other places to be.
Oh well, that's too bad on you. But you have all this planning to do now for this event. Don't worry, Loesch will take care of whatever you leave behind.
Oh God.
So yeah, the mystery brew, and you drink, and this there's no other performances, just the mayor's kind of smoozing with everybody. Free beer. This haggard group has been to 4 places and eaten food and drank and sang, staggering out of the it's been a long day, staggering out of the sailor seduction as Brucon leads you back through town to the late midnight hour to your rendezvous at the
Monument.
The monument in the memorial gardens of the War of Fallen Friends near the rejuvenating bog. You guys are all kind of standing there. It's late. It's cold. Roll D12. Sorry. Wrong.
Yep. 10.
10. So the wind begins to pick up. It's chilly. It's still clear out. There is some sort of moon, but it is not a full moon. And sort of out of because there's the rejuvenating bog where it sits. There's sort of mist that kind of rolls through over the hills and stuff, and kind of out of nowhere, out of the mist, a figure appears and begins to walk towards you in a cloak. They probably a little bit over 5 feet, 5'3", 5'4". They're just wearing just a common cloak, nothing fancy. And they kind of walk up to your group. They flop their cloak down, and you can see that they're, I don't know, I would guess, I don't think anybody has any lanterns or torches lit. Their skin looks fairly pale. And they look elven. Brucon said you were asking questions about the Blood King?
That he knew of someone who had looked for him.
There have been parties that have. There are those that have sought him out. He is
He
elusive.
reaches into his pack and starts messing with his statue that he's got.
Okay.
I will sort of step up and say, we're not so foolish as to pick a fight with him. We hear that his realm holds something we have interest in. We seek entrance to the realm, not a fight with the king himself.
You wish to go to his manor?
Yes.
Have you been?
No. What for? What purpose?
That is not necessarily ours to say.
Yeah, I think we should leave out some details.
Leave out?
Leave out some details. Oh, God.
If you just wish to go and speak with him, I don't know how far you will get.
Why do you say that?
I think he takes kindly to visitors. He will probably think that you are some kind of threat unless you bring him something or you're.
What kind of things does his sword like?
I'm not sure. I don't know that answer.
What is your relationship with the Blood King?
I guess in some ways we are related, but not by choice.
Basil gives a loud boop.
We still, one way or the other, we do need entrance to the realm, and we have no intention of fighting. Can you give us any hints or ideas that would help?
Well, the gods cursed his manor, and it appears at random times when the stars are aligned. The chances of coming upon it are, you may try 1,000 times and maybe hit it once.
Oh, wow.
Your best bet, if you truly seek this Blood King, is to travel south past the lands where the God War occurred. There is a line there. There is a passage, a road known as the Gates. You could probably find his manor there.
What is special about this passage? Is it impervious to the fluctuations and the manor appearance?
If you recall, well, he looks at all of you. None of you recall. But when the Great Cataclysm happened, certain planes came into this world, plane of shadow and the plane of madness, and the gates, plane of gates appeared. That is your only way to find him. When you leave the manor, you may end up somewhere else on this road and come out somewhere else in our world. But at least you will find him.
Okay.
And you guys have heard about this. You've heard about the cataclysm that happened like 250 years ago, and different planes sort of like intersected. So there are places in the world that people will be like traveling, and then all of a sudden they're in the plane of shadow, and all of a sudden they're in the plane of fire. So this is a thing.
Do you remember this?
Yes, I was around when this occurred.
And again from Basil. No.
Yeah. We know what Basil thinks. Okay. Thank you very much for your information. It is most helpful.
Well, good luck on your journey.
It will be a great adventure one way or the other. You know, the one way is nobody ever hears about it. The other is I get to sing the song. I get to tell the tale.
And I will leave you with this piece of advice. If you do happen to engage with this creature, this Blood King, mere simple weapons will not hurt him. You should use some of the coinage, particularly the silver coinage that your paladin friend has. Those type of weapons will affect the Blood King. And he reaches into his pocket and drops a sack onto the ground. I would take this with you as well. He turns and walks away, and like as he walks, he kind of steps into like the mist and just kind of vanishes.
What's in the sack?
As soon as you pick it up, you smell it reeks of garlic.
Okay. Sack of garlic. Okay.
That's kind of scary.
Glad I got my weapon silvered.
Yeah, Felix is going to spend tomorrow trying to find a silver sword.
Like an actual thorn, or like is that a name for like a rapier?
Oh, sword.
Sword.
Sorry.
Oh, sword.
Well, what we found out is that silver is ridiculously rare. You can't get silver weapons, but I got my spear silvered at the same place that we got the other stuff. And, you know, Pete, again, correct. I think, Pete, you said you were retconning some of the basic weapon stuff. So you may be able to retcon a silvered sword, but not a, sword of silver.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, you could have silver put on it. Yes.
I'll get an extra sword in that case, silvered, so I don't wear it down.
Mm-hmm.
Karn will do the same thing.
Okay. So you make your way back to the rejuvenating bog. You come in the main entrance, and there's the guy at the the front desk, and he's standing next to him is a person wearing like a white robe, talking to the person at the front desk, and they kind of like come to attention. They're kind of looking past the crowd, and they kind of he spots Karn and kind of looks at him, and the guy kind of nods like, that's him.
Karn straightens up a little bit.
What languages does Karn speak? Common?
I think just common, because his intelligence is 7.
Okay.
His wisdom's 13 and his dex is 15, but his intelligence is 7.
So
he doesn't question things a lot.
So he's got like a sash cloak that he kind of flips up, and you can see like it's embroidered on like the inside as well. And it's like purple, and it goes down, and it reveals his arms, and then he's got a tattoo of some dude with a huge mace in his hand on one side, and the other side is a bunch of writing that looks like it's in Elven. He comes over to you and he says, can we speak?
Yes, brother, we can.
Okay. And he kind of looks at everybody else. He's like, can they be trusted?
These are my boon companions. I have trusted them with my very life. And I think it's safe to say they owe me theirs.
Zolfin kind of scowls, but doesn't say anything.
I am Josiah, priest of Cuthbert, the god of vengeance and retribution. It is great to meet you, Karn, and your associates.
It is our pleasure and our honor to have been in your presence.
These are very dark times for those who do worship outside the elven spirits, as you know.
Yes, indeed, brother.
I got a glimpse at the offering that you have brought to the church.
Yes.
And he puts his hand on your forehead. Are you of sane mind?
Very sane mind.
He looks to everybody else like, is this guy okay?
What is your concern, brother?
Clintock does one of these gestures.
Well, the way I think of Karn is he is exactly who he says he is, and then over the top the same.
Some people usually just leave a donation and come and collect it. They do, but yours is unique. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite as extravagant as what has left me. I wanted to make sure you are of sound mind.
I am indeed of sound mind. There was more where that came from. That is but my tithe.
And your tithe is accepted.
I am sure you will do great works in the name of Cuthbert with it. Never be ashamed of Cuthbert. We should all stand tall and proud and spread his light.
We will, and we shall.
We're in the hotel lobby talking like this, right?
Yes. You
Yeah.
are. How long will you be in town?
That seems to be some matter of discussion. Probably at least 4 or 5 more days, perhaps 6. I hear tell that there's going to be an execution in 6 days.
Yes, this is what I've heard.
We're considering staying long enough to see the execution.
Though I question the validity of this judgment.
Really?
Yes, the mayor has certain motivations that I would question. It may be done just for show. I have reason to believe this man who claims to be a pirate has done no crime, just spoken words.
As an aside, guys, we might be in trouble. So you're telling me that they expect to execute an innocent man?
In Cuthbert's eyes, I would call him innocent. Just a fool tongue. I have a right mind to say, I don't know, that this execution shouldn't happen.
I look around and put on a really shit-eating grin and say, well, guys, maybe we need to make some plans about that.
Indeed, if the mayor of this town is the sort that will execute an innocent man, surely it is he that should be put to the sword.
So Fan will say, don't say that so loudly.
The mayor's just foolish. He is being pressured by the Emperor. He's being pressured by him. You know, at one time, the apes worshiped Cuthbert and turned their back to him.
Perhaps it's time that we remind the apes of the power of Cuthbert.
Is this true? I thought that was just made up.
No, it is very true. They will not let you, they will not, they have tried to erase that from memory. Those of us of the faith know that is true.
Do you know what changed? What does the legend say?
They thought it was too, those who had the faith became too influential. And then they removed those who believed with those who believed in these. He looks around. Eterno Espirito, the ape spirits. And spits on the ground as he says it.
Cartman makes it.
Orion keeps the same shit-eating grin and just looks at the guy and says, well, let's just say that the festivities might turn out to be slightly different than the mayor is planning.
Yes. All I've heard is something about festival, an extended festival of lights and free beer.
That is indeed his plan, but, you know.
And you hear in the back from the bathhouse, free fucking beer!
I just imagine that guy is like almost passed out, but he's in he's like in the bathhouse or like the hot tub.
Yeah.
So tell me, brother, the mayor is planning on having a crowning of the Festival of Lights to be this execution. Would it not be embarrassing for him and by that to the Emperor to, if that didn't happen suddenly at the last moment?
That would be most embarrassing to him.
Could you perhaps afterwards be able to spread the word that it was the will of Cuthbert if that does happen? Is this something we could build upon?
Of course, it'd be the will of Cuthbert.
Karn slams his fist to his chest and says, all is the will of Cuthbert. Perhaps use that as an advantage. I do believe there's a word for it. Propaganda.
Propaganda.
Perfectly fine with whatever, as long as Cuthbert willingly fills my pockets.
Walk in the path of Cuthbert, and all in your life shall be as it should be. If what should be is you have full pockets, Cuthbert will fill them.
Is that how it works?
If that's what you truly need.
And that is what I truly need.
That you just see, you hear Basil listening, and then he just like looks off the distance towards the sea.
These guys. But perhaps we can use that to begin to sway the beliefs of those around. They can see that this is not the way that Cuthbert would run things. This is not the way that Cuthbert would order things.
Yes.
To put innocent people to death. And what kind of mayor is this that won't stand up to the Emperor over this?
One without a spine.
Well, that's, always assuming that something happens untoward during the festival. And as the saying goes, man proposes, God disposes.
Oh, I'm going to have to remember that one.
Apes make plans, and Cuthbert laughs.
Oh, that's a good one. This is embarrassing. You guys are coming up with better lines than Karn.
It's all right, Karn. Your path is not to make poetry, but to make peace in the name of Cuthbert.
By the sword!
Peace through righteous combat, yes.
Taking the military orders. This is how I know a word like propaganda.
So he puts his arm on your shoulder, Karn, and says, let us meet again. And let's make sure the will of Cuthbert is imposed on this ceremony.
What is your name and where can I find you?
I am Josiah.
Josiah.
If you wish to speak to me, and he kind of looks over at the guy at the front desk. He's like, just let him know that we wish to speak.
Okay. It shall be as you say. I shall think and pray tonight and think of things and see if Cuthbert reveals any better plans to me.
And he takes his cloak and flips it again out so you don't see his arms anymore. And his tattoos, bows, and he begins to walk out the door, and somebody comes in and he's like, oh, yes, yes, bless you, the ape stewards, bless you, yes. And he walks out the door.
So he's pretending to be an ape.
He's just, he is sort of giving the impression that he's some kind of priest of, and somebody is coming in. They've got some bag carrying like a backpack or whatever, probably looking for a room.
So he's trying to rebuild the oil base in covert sense.
Yeah, they have to be covert. That's another reason they recommended the rejuvenating bog. I believe that was Remy's father who told you to come here.
Yes. Because Karn doesn't hide his loyalty to Cuthbert very
correct,
well.
Yeah. Correct.
At all. That would be against his beliefs.
So it is very late. It's probably like 1:30 a.m. Assume you all go and rest for the next day.
Yep.
Yeah. First, a little for having missed the Sailor Seduction late night again, because I just know Loach tomorrow is going to tell us how wonderful it was, and you should have stuck around, and you missed the best part. I know he's going to be saying that again.
When Karn goes back to his room, he's going to pray to Cuthbert for the dog to let him know what his name is, and then he's going to be having the dog sleep right against the door, so if anybody ever opens it, it wakes the dog up first.
Okay. All right.
So far, all he's doing is calling the dog dog.
What was the warthog's name?
Winston.
Right. He called
You
the
know.
dog. He called the dog Salem. The guy did. I don't know if he wanted to call him that or not.
Winston Salem.
But yeah, that's probably a good place to stop as you guys go to rest. Yeah, this is day 10. So at the end of this day is the soonest they would execute Ox. But it sounds like the mayor is fully on board with moving that. So that's probably not going to happen. And now there's going to be this huge festival that's going to commence. So you can decide how you want to do that. Like in 5 days, there's going to be a full moon. That sounds like right around when the festival is supposed to happen.
Has it been 3 days since Basil Wilberforce got his bell rung again and had his hit points cut in half?
Let's see. You got here the 8th, the 2. This is the 3rd day. This is like you're waking up on the 10th. So that's the 3rd. This is the beginning of the 3rd day.
Okay, so he's still got one more day.
Yep.
-4 to all rolls until the 11th.
Yeah, whatever that was. Yeah.
Yeah. His hit points were cut in half, and he's -4 to all his rolls.
Thanks for running, Pete.
Hey, no problem. I enjoyed it. That was very different.
Yeah. Sorry for not being as lively as normal.
No, I appreciate you playing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope your arm gets better.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, as much as I grumped about it, I love the twist where the mayor comes in on the last one. I mean, that was just the perfect, fantastic twist there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great game. It really was. Silver gets worn off of the weapons as you use them.
I would figure it would, yeah.
Okay.
Over time, yeah.
Okay.
I'll have to buy another spear then and hold on to the silvered one. Okay, fair enough. Fair warning.
All right.
One for men, one for monsters.
Yeah.
That's fair. Oh, I got to get my monster spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, Karn will have to think about that.
All right, guys. I appreciate it. Take it easy.
See you later.
All right.